Blessings. Welcome forward to Reasonings right here at the Trail Life. I'm your host, the Great Owl, and this little vibration is gonna be on approval. Approval is a very nice word, and it suggests acceptance, right? And acceptance suggests like it's a valued capital that we all kind of need. The only problem is that people are willing to do some really crazy things just to get the approval of others, and it's not just because they want others to like them. Well, yes, they do want others to like them, but liking them is a major social capital. It has sociological, physiological, emotional, but above all, financial potential and rewards to it. So the greater scheme of approval is that if you're in the right crowd, the in crowd, the crowd that's happening, the people that's moving and shaking things up, you tend to be on track, on the path towards this successive system of prosperity, or at least wealth or riches or whatever it is called in the no quantus. Okay, the issue is that when you are rejected or out of the loop, you tend to have time to process your own inner thoughts and the thoughts of the collective if you're deep enough and daring enough to go at it. So when you really got something to offer and you really got something to give to the souls of humanity, you kind of really have to take some time, some amount of time away from the pace in which you have been doing things, trying to get into the in crowd or trying to rival the in crowd by creating your own in crowd. The issue of it is, hallelujah, take some time to process. Many of the most important things of life have been led by the individuals who became pioneers because they were smart enough, patient enough to go high or low enough where no one else wanted to go to see, to experience, and to be able to create solutions to the issues that we collectively face as human beings. And these things relate to epochs of time. So it's not like this has been done before, so it cannot be done again. In each epoch of time, we basically approach the issues and try to create solutions. So right now, there's a great amount of potential to be innovative and transformative because we are living out the thought forms and thought processes of individuals that probably lived like 3,000, 5,000 years ago in some, you know, old paradigm. And so those old paradigms create institutional foundations, even though they had to battle within their times, but eventually they became the successive thought processes that dominate. And so because this approval system kind of, after a while they got approved, created a progeny after itself. It kind of, is replicating itself ad infinitum. It might appear eternal, but it's not. It's just supported by people who are willing to give up their life force onto something because they recognize that that something has something to offer. Corrupted man's heart, hallelujah, with a gift. And that is the thing. You think you're getting something beautiful, which you are already the gift and you are already beautiful. But then you use doubt and confusion to seek something which you already have because you can't accept it as what it is. And so this is where the real argument comes. A lot of times people are seeking approval because they really don't really approve, hallelujah, of themselves. It's an issue that we all have. It's like when a person seems to approve of themselves to us, a lot of times it's egoic. They're acting like in control, dominant, everything. So we use that as an excuse to like, I don't want that to be me because I am not that person. So it becomes a personality thing. So essentially, we are saying, well, being in control of ourselves means acting this way. And it's not necessarily so. Being in control of yourself, meaning being able to accept the issues of your reality and process them as you do. So it means that if you really, really don't believe or don't act in frequency or in alignment with the popular narrative because you know something else, spend time and examine and experience what you know because eventually people will want to know, hallelujah, what you know. It's just the way things are. There's a structural law to things. It's like 20 years ago, people didn't care about certain forms of lifestyle or living because it was a primitive idea that seemed like it's taking you back. But then 20 years later, there is a movement beyond just this internet platform. The internet is giving a space to popularize it, but there's a movement towards going back into a holistic, natural, homestead kind of living that is termed off-grid. You have permaculture, you have syntropic agriculture, a way in which to regenerate denuded lands and to basically live without needing to go swipe a card, press a button, swipe your hand, or do something in this designed, approved reality. And now that's coming to fruition because somebody, sets of individuals, believed that this was the way to go and would become the way of life for many. They believed in it and it's slowly happening. I don't have that philosophical thought process because I come from the bush already. However, I do want to regenerate denuded lands because of how livestock has basically wreaked havoc in my environment. And for my future going forward, in my personal environment, that would be like something I'll be working on, right? And why am I saying that is that I think a lot of opportunities for the future are being missed by people who are so squarely focused on the approval system. Hallelujah. And that's what's happening. They're not really looking at the reality of how they matter in the greater context of things because each of us have a place in this reality. And the only way you really find your place is really find yourself. Mastering the self, what are the talents of God, the gifts you've been given. When you master those things, those gifts will transform into the experience of the entire landscape in which you are in. We all affect our environment. You, I, us, we do. And as such, what you put in, you really get out. So put in the right processes with enough hard work, devotion, and respecting self. And guess what will happen? You're going to master it, I'm telling you. And there are stages. So don't measure yourself necessarily against another. Measure yourself among stages of your own development and growth. Like measure yourself against yourself 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, right? And then you will see how much you've grown. See how much you being high enough and away from everything has given you that pervadance to see, you know, what your eyes surveyed. Or being low enough, yeah, give you the ability to see how what people have left and ignored have become the greater threat to consume them. So solutions cannot come from those who are caught up in the essence of what's causing the problem. Solutions can only be created from those who can see the problem, be separate from it, and be able to address it by that independence, right? Because you can singularize it, you can triangulate it, you can manipulate it, hallelujah, because you're not in the spectrum of it. You can create a model and a grid for it, right? And so, in reference to some of the most brilliant people I know that waiting for a job in a certain established governmental institution or a certain kind of established commercial entity won't do you the truest justice. I know it's hard. You don't want to be like Jerome Sage Butler, the great owl, to have been ridiculed by so much people and gone through so much crap. Hallelujah. Doing these videos on YouTube has been the only kind of vindication. But guess what? My path is continuing, and it's as I had seen it. I didn't know this would be the route, which is more scenic, and I give thanks. I'm a friend them know that too. I've always been this way since like ever. So I've not lost anything. I'm happy that I didn't seek the approval system, right? Because God knows, I don't know if I had gotten to be as I am, knowing that there's so much more to be without that control or that need to please another. Hallelujah. Glory to Yahshua Mashiach, living spirit of Yahuwah, immortal presence within the very essence of the heart of man, woman, and child. I give thanks that I can share this information. Remember, do not live to prove yourself worthy to the approval system that really basically only uses your energy for its own benefit. Seek to be approved of the Spirit of God, the Spirit of the gift of life within you, and be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Glory and honor. Until next time, love and blessing.